What up, what up? This is Toad with Toaden's Media Layer Sandwich, even though, hey, I might change the name. I don't know. Well, today I'm doing like a... Today it's kind of like a comic book men style. I literally just put the mic sitting on the counter of Planet 9 Comics.
9 Planet.
9 Planet. Oh, wow. Don't hit me.
That Planet 9 thing is your buddy Crazy Mark's film festival.
But it's not his film festival. It's someone else's. There's actual...
well,
it's a production company. He hosted it.
Yeah, I know he does it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it always keeps confusing me because I see that's
it
why it
confuses more
me.
people than you think, because I've actually gotten emails and messages through like Facebook and Instagram about my film festival. And I'm like, oh, no, you want to talk to these guys over here.
Yeah, it's not just a film festival, it's a production company.
Okay, well, their film festival I got a couple messages about, so. And I was like, no, you want to talk to you guys over here.
So that voice has been from 9 Planets, and if you hear me say Planet 9, feel free to just stop
I'll reach out and smack him really loud like that so you can all hear it.
Yeah. So this is another test. Not sure this is going to go out, but you're going to hear a lot of different voices. Another reason why I don't have the video going on, because there's no way we could do this with video and respect everyone's privacy. So we're just going to do audio. And if you hear voices in the background, that's because there's customers here. And, hey, maybe someone will jump in or whatever. I worked at a comic book store for a few years, and I love just, like, having a random conversation and then random people jump in, which is something I do in your store when you're not even here. Your
we
guys
have
are
a lot of random conversations around here with a lot of people. And they're fun because you never know what people are going to bring up.
You know, I did think of an icebreaker. Let's go ahead and start this with an icebreaker.
Okay.
2 groups. Could be anybody, any peoples, could be any groups. Dance fighting. I'm talking old school West Side Story, breaking out with the snapping fingers and doing a full dance fight. Okay. Who would you like to see dance fight? And so this isn't a fist fight. It's unless they're snapping their fingers and taking 5 years of tap before throwing the first punch.
The Avengers take on the NWO.
Wow. Okay. So, which era of NW? So, we're talking Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash,
Scott Hall, all those guys.
X-Pac.
Yep. Well, X-Pac was way later.
He was later. Okay.
Yes, way later. You got your core ones, which would be like
the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and then you could throw Sting in the mix and all that. Jacob here would know who NWO members. You know, you had your Hulk Hogan, right, and then you had Nash.
50 jobbers.
Yeah, you had there was at one point, if you looked at the list, there's over 200 members that were in NWO at one point or another. So
yeah,
but anyways,
Disco Inferno can be part of the NWO. So can you?
Yes.
By the time Disco Inferno joins NWO, no one's watching anymore.
But your core original NWO members take on the Avengers.
So now, which version of the Avengers are we talking about? We talking about the core version, obviously. I assume.
Yeah, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man.
So not D-Lord or
no. I mean, if we want to go down that line, you know, there is enough NWO members that could compete all the way down the line. You know, you could have that guy in Disco Inferno.
All right,
and there you go, equivalent.
All right. See, I was thinking one of the things that came to my mind was Beavis and Butthead versus Winger.
The band?
Yeah. Because that band, Beavis and Butthead just totally destroyed that band.
Yeah, but there's only 2 Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, but it's a dance fight.
Yeah, but I mean...
Who doesn't want to see Beavis?
But then you get Winger circling them, and then what are they going to do, you know?
He's a great Canolio, man.
It's not the same.
But he's a great Canolio.
Same. Just wouldn't work.
You see him when he starts slapping people? It's like the Everlong hand that just from Foo Fighters Everlong, where the hand just becomes giant.
I guess I could see that. Maybe. That's a stretch, though.
I mean, it's an animated. Yeah. That would have to be animated.
Or we could, pin Walmart workers against Target workers.
It would just be like, you getting paid for this? Nope. Are you getting paid for this? Nope. And then everyone just leaves.
Do fast food restaurants with their mascot as their leader. So, you got like Ronald McDonald and all the McDonald's employees in the background, taking on the Wendy's girl with all the Wendy's employees in the background.
I don't know. I think Hamburglar would just take it, just
No, he just comes
everything.
out of the mix and throws it off. Starts head spinning and all that.
Yeah. So I went to the other one I had was I went to Specs Hour School of Broadcast Arts, which is sort of still around, but mostly not. Part
Didn't
of
it
another.
merge with Lawrence Tech or something?
Yeah, which is funny because I went to both those schools. I went to the trade school, and then I went and got a degree at the other school.
I almost went to Specs Howard right out of high school. I actually did. They had a speech contest where the winner got a scholarship and all that.
Nice.
I came in second place.
Yeah, they used to do that a lot.
My voice in democracy was the topic I had that year.
Ooh.
And I got second place. And I almost got a scholarship. And I was going to go there. And then scholarship didn't go through. And then I couldn't afford it. So now I'm here running a comic book store instead.
And let's face it, a lot of you had someone bringing a Transformer here, and the first thing I think of was one of my video teachers from Specs, which has one of the largest collections of Transformers in Michigan. He claims the largest in Michigan, but who knows?
Everybody claims he got the largest something or other somewhere.
But what I was thinking was, so at Specs, almost all the radio instructors, still worked at radio stations. All the news people versus the music people. Because you had a lot of people that worked for the two big AM stations, and then you had all the news people.
WWJ and WJR?
Yep. And then you had all the pop music and all those people.
Broadcasting high up top the Fisher Building.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I always remember.
And that was always interesting, too, because I went on a couple trips there, and so I had an instructor. I'm going to try not to name any names here, but I had an instructor at Specs that taught writing that worked there, and I had an instructor at LTU that taught writing that worked there, and apparently they didn't get along. No, I don't know anything about the guy from the Specs point of view, but the guy at LTU at the time, which no longer works there, so I guess it's fine at least saying that information. He would just be like, "Oh yeah, that guy."
Yeah, we had a dance fight in the bathroom the other day.
Hey now,
just saying,
yeah.
Got to bring it full circle, right? Back to the dance fight.
Yeah, so what are people dance fighting around here? Because when I worked at a comic book store, people would come and be like, "Hey, I just want to talk about this thing," because they go, new comics come out on Wednesday, and by the time the following week, they haven't been able to find anyone else to talk about the subject. I think that's changed a little bit with modern internet and everything being just really bad chat box or whatever you call it, chat rooms.
They don't talk about any one specific thing anymore. They really will talk about anything. Mm-hmm. It'll be the latest figure, the latest storyline, movie, what characters are going to be in the upcoming movie, or what new Marvel Legends are coming out down the road that nobody except for the guy behind you standing there really cares about half the time.
Talk about my Marvel Legends.
I didn't know they still made those.
Yes, they did.
Even when those were coming out, when I semi-cared, I didn't care.
Well,
but they were cool action figures.
The Marvel Legends are insane now. My Sentinel,
taller than his
have
kid
Wow.
at one point.
HasLab exclusive, built to order.
Saying the Sentinel's at least 3 feet.
Yeah,
It was
4
like
feet.
over 100 points of articulation. Every joint in the hand
Uh-huh.
bends. Every
Wow.
knees.
Is it bad every time someone talks about the Sentinel? I don't think X-Men. I think of like the short-lived miniseries called Sentinel, which was like you know what I'm talking
I
about?
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I can never find those comics. I actually had to hire somebody to go into all the boxes at trade shows and try to find the run for me. I think I was missing like 2 of
there
them.
are bins. We probably got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't
Probably
even remember
dollar
what
bins.
issues I even have.
You need all the ones that I have. Those are the ones you're missing.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. And the variants.
Yes, exactly. All 8 covers of number 1.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Orphan Black. All I could find of Orphan Black is the first issue, and I think I have like 5 variant covers of it. 5 or 6 variant covers. But it's only issue 1, though.
Yeah, because nobody cared about it after that. Everybody wants a number 1. Number 2, yeah, it's definitely number 2s.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
So that's the advice. Getting number ones are good, but getting number two. So what's the print What's the print label drop off to? For those that probably have no idea what I'm talking about, they usually print off. I assume they're printing less twos than ones. Like the initial one, they'll print off X.
Yeah, they always flood number ones out there.
Yeah.
And depending how the response is from there, then stores will tend to order more number twos, and it usually ends up dropping a lot down the line as you go.
Yeah, usually by the first storyline, it's always dropped. But now, comics as a whole, is dropped, right? And feel free to cut me off, dude, to do this customer series. Feel free to just drop me.
If they start giving me dirty looks, then I will. But the best way I can describe, have a good one. Best way I can describe the comic book market is comparing it to the stock market. Mm-hmm. Everything is up and down all the time. If you're going from a financial standpoint, then you want to get stuff that's going to be hot now and get rid of it when it's hot. If you're like a collector and you want to get something, long-term investment, get something you like, because then it's never going to lose the value to you personally, no matter what. Mm-hmm. But if you're just going from strictly investment standpoint, you just got to pay attention to what the trends are, what movies are getting ready to come out, and get why it's hot, because when it drops, it drops.
Well, let's be honest. If you're just trying to invest in comic books, you got your priorities wrong. Invest in gold or something.
Not necessarily.
Okay, convince me.
There are certain books that I've seen, in the past few years, go up substantially more than gold has risen for the value. Easily. There are books now that'll come out that'll be, $4 or $5 brand new, and a year from now, be over $100. You mean to tell me gold's going to go up that much in a year?
Yeah, but there's no predictability then, man.
Is there predictability in gold?
Well, it's going to at least stay similar to the same. I just think
gold goes up and down on a
Yeah.
daily basis. Literally, you can go to a pawn shop,
Yeah.
and you go to pawn something gold. They will literally look at the current value of gold that day.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going by.
Yeah, but comics, they go up and down the same thing, though.
They do at times, yes. But from if you're going long-term investments, then of course you want to invest in your precious metal, because, when money's gone completely, that's
Right.
what people are going to want. But if you're going for now to make a quick couple bucks in the next few years, if you get it right, you can knock it out of the park with some comics.
Yeah.
There are comics that have come out in the past 20 years now that go, they're well over $1,500, and you paid $3-4 for them within the past 5 years.
Yeah, well, what I used to do was, if I heard some kind of buzz coming from a non-comic book source, I would go and grab that. And that seemed to work out. Of course, usually it's more short-term than long-term.
Yes.
That's how I actually started collecting, the first few storylines of the 99. I heard it talked about, an NPR or something. Mm-hmm. Went out and grabbed the first few, and everyone in the comic book store is like, why are you even buying these? And then they came out with a cartoon, within 2 years of the premiere, and then hey, look, I want to buy these from you now. It's you literally called me every dirty word because I was buying these things, but I picked it up because they're talking about it on NPR of all places.
Right. When it hits mainstream media that, though,
and then dropped right off almost immediately.
Those
but that's
are the ones that are going to drop off quick.
Yeah,
because they have no staying power. Those are the ones, the people who have the short attention spans out there, which is just about everybody these days. Everybody wants return now. So when you get books like that, you're going to get your return now, but later on they're going to fall off, because once that movie comes out or whatever happens that everybody was talking about, then nobody cares about that event anymore.
We're also in a different time now. It's only been a few extra years, but now everything's franchised. When Guardian of the Galaxy came out, I had 2 different people, both of them trying to get finder's fees, calling me because I was one of the few people they knew that had full runs of the modern reboot of Guardians of the Galaxy, because those movies weren't based on the classics or Golden Age or none of that stuff. It was based off of the team that was formed during Annihilation. Yep, that one. Just pulled out a hardback trade.
The costumes you see here, you can't see them because we're talking here, but they have the blue outfits on and all that.
Right.
These are the outfits that are going to be in the new movie.
Good.
See? So, there you
Yeah, because that's the team that the movies are based off of. I had...
go. Not the original one, because the original one had, like, what's his name?
Yandu.
Yandu was one of them, and then that...
That's true.
The dog. The dog with the space helmet was originally...
No, Cosmo is from the modern version. He's not... Because he wasn't technically a Guardian...
So,
But he was in the head of security in the at the outpost, which they never let him. They should have let him talk in the movies, man. Cosmo is important, man.
the original Guardian team
Okay.
made a cameo. That was Sylvester Stallone and the other people that showed up at the end when Yandu died.
Yeah, and Cosmo the dog is in that shot. Isn't
Is he?
I think so. He's in the background, standing off to the side.
Well,
right?
that's because he's the security officer of that.
I think so.
Well, he's head of security in the that outpost, though. That's why.
But the movie's Guardians
Even though
of the
the
Galaxy
movie doesn't say that, but in the comic books, he's head of security there.
are a way later incarnation, I guess you would say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was also the old version, as you were saying. That was a different universe or a different timeline as well.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, Yandu, just having the whistling arrow even threw me off. I'm like, bow and arrow. The man had a bow and arrow.
A way different
And
character.
he had
Yeah,
a big fin.
yeah. Forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, so I had two different
We're going all over the place.
I had
We're
two
going
different
left, we're
people
going
calling
right,
me.
north, east, west.
calling me because they knew I had these. You know, they knew I had the original runs of these, the paperbacks, not the trades.
The
It's like-
regular comic issues?
Yeah, first prints.
Gotcha.
It's like I am not gonna bring these into. It was the pawn store show. I forgot the name of the one that was in Detroit, but they were trying to get me on that. They called me a couple of times. They called me on that storyline. They also called me on a mask I used to wear in some of my older videos.
Hello.
I forgot there was another comic book thing they called. I don't want to say it was 99. Might have been called my Grim Fairy Tales Chase. So this is what happens when the owner of the comic book store and other people know what's in your stash. Mm-hmm. They try to make not you, but other owners that we know. Sometimes they'll start. They try to. You have other hustles and stuff like that. You got to find people looking for certain things, and you can get a finder's fee out of it. I get it.
Oh, yeah. If I know somebody specifically looking for something and I know somebody has it, I'll be like, hey, do you want to get rid of that? Because I know somebody wants it. Mm-hmm. And, of course, since I'm doing the legwork, I'm going to work out something to benefit from
100%.
it. That's only fair, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
the only
I'm not
reason
gonna
I didn't
try
want to go on those shows is because I was, doing the YouTube thing, and I didn't want to, they wouldn't. There's no way they would promote me. I'd go on the thing, but if I can't wear a T-shirt promoting myself, or if I can't, or if I have to play a character, which they wanted me to when they brought my mask, they wanted me to like play a goofy character, and I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I'm not going to go and pretend to be a bozo when I'm, when I work in this area, and not everyone, but people sort of know. We go to enough cons where people know us. I don't want them to appear
He's
like
very
a
important.
goofball.
He's got many leather-bound books.
It's the guy with the big
kind of
camera and the Liberty spikes,
Right,
man.
he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, only in my own mind.
Aren't we all? That's what I am, at least.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about, just like comics, we keep seeing things coming back, and I think it's kind of crazy to see some of these bands from, like, when I know you're a couple years older than me, but from.
Am I?
I don't know. I'm going to guess you are because I want to feel young.
Okay, fair enough.
I graduated high school in 2001.
Okay, I graduated in '98, so we're not that far off.
Okay.
Not that far off.
No, we're pretty. It's pretty much the same.
Right. Not like this guy over here.
I didn't
Oh,
even
what, he
graduate.
graduated like 2 weeks ago?
No, I didn't even graduate.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I'm
No,
a dropout.
Tell us what you were doing in '98, though, or 2001 when we were graduating.
Dude, this guy wasn't born
2001, I
yet.
was barely even watching wrestling now.
What were you
I
doing
was
in
like 3 years
'98?
old. 98, I was newborn
See?
in November.
Yeah, see?
I was, I missed out on a lot of great stuff.
I think my socks are older than you.
Might want to get some new ones. Update those.
I just
I know a guy that can help you get some new socks. He sells them by the bundle on a folding table and stuff.
Yeah, but I like feeling to see if I need new soles in my boots. Feel every little.
I need a new sole, period, sometimes, but that's totally different.
But so some of these bands are during the pandemic. I'm hearing bands that I thought were just long gone come with new albums. Didn't Bush come out with one or two new albums in the last few years?
Yeah. It's called a money grab. That's the only reason
I thought they were bored.
Well, it's called a money grab. They're doing it because all those people who were that age that were really into them, that went to their concert, now is a little bit older and can afford to overpay for their overpriced tickets at a stadium show.
Hold up. I've been to... So the last time I saw Bush was actually just a little bit before pandemic. Might have been during, I don't know. I don't think it was during, but I think I want to say it was I want to say 18. I want to say it was 18 or 19. It was probably right before.
Okay.
And I also saw them a couple of years before that. And the biggest letdown of watching them in concert was that they were only doing 16 Stone. They were only doing the songs. They had at least 2 good albums. You could say 3 or 3-ish good albums. But most people know 16 Stone. Now, I really liked them in middle school and stuff, so I loved Razorblade Suitcase as well. So they would play Mouth Off that, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's come on, where's Greedy Fly? Where's all these? I would think sure, you have your 10-year, 20-year anniversary tours. I saw Toadies a couple times, and it's mostly Possum Kingdom. I actually saw them on their 20th anniversary.
That was the very first concert I ever went to on my own. Was on my 16th birthday. I got my driver's license that morning. And then me and a buddy took my mom's car and we went down to St. Andrews Hall and saw the Toadies and Toad the Wet Sprocket.
I would love to see. And by the way, no, my name Toaden isn't from Toadies or the Toad the Wreck.
So that would have been.
But then again, since I am Toad, it's good that we talk about it.
So that would have been August of 93? No, it would have been 95.
95? But you graduated... Oh, okay, yeah, it's somehow in my mind. Okay.
Yeah, because I got my license that morning. So it would have been August 11th of 95. They played St. Andrews Hall in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people play St. Andy's.
Well, that's because it's an awesome place.
It is, but there's also a lot of bands that complain. I don't know why. You know what? If you're a band, don't complain about the venues to your audience or on a live stream, unless something really messed up happened there that makes a good story.
It's who are you to complain? Be happy you're getting a place to play and people come see you.
Yeah, I saw for a very brief time. I really loved Amanda Palmer, which I still love some of her music. They Dresden Dolls. I know it's a little bit different, but I still really like their music. I don't really, I don't like her politics or anything like that, or her blogging and whatever. But I really liked her music. I saw her at St. Andy's for the Grand Theft Orchestra, and I thought it was a fantastic show. I could tell you stories afterwards. If you're ever going to go see a show like that, and you're a single male, you're going to have a lot of fun.
Good to know. Take notes. It's better than going to the grocery store.
Oh man, people would come up to us and be like, "Hey, are you guys straight or what?" Apparently we're the only straight single guys in the entire venue.
I had a almost experience like that once. I actually went down, and in the shelter, because she didn't sell enough tickets to play at St. Andrews Hall, I saw Jennifer Love Hewitt play.
Wow.
This would have been 94 when her first album came out.
That early?
Yeah, nobody realized. She has 5 albums out.
So wait, she was because she didn't break out until Can't Hardly Wait. And that was 96.
Yeah, this was.
We probably should have a computer out fact checking us. I don't know.
I got my laptop right here. We can do this.
All right.
Or you got your phone.
I got my phone.
But yeah, it would have been. I want to say it was 94 or 95.
Okay. It can't be that early.
It was right at the time she was on Party of 5.
Oh, that's right. She was on that. Okay, Can't Hardly Wait was 98.
So, Because, yeah, it was just when people are starting to realize who she even was. And then she put out that album, and it had Bare Naked on it.
Okay.
Was the hit song off it.
Bare Naked came out in 2002, according to the First Name
maybe.
show. Let's Go Bang came out in 95. So,
Somewhere in
okay,
there.
no one's yelling at me for these album names. These Self-Titled came out in 96.
Yeah, so it was around that time frame.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was probably either the Self-Titled
Yeah.
or Let's Go Bang.
Yeah.
I'm
We're talking 90s stupid
Oh,
pop.
she came out with one that called Love Songs in 92. So there was a couple
Yeah,
out.
there was a couple out. But you guys can talk. It's okay.
Yeah, tell us your love of Jennifer Love Hewitt
and
music.
how-
I don't.
Ooh, Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's not just a love of music. It's a love
Yeah.
of everything. Everything.
So they bump her down to the shelter.
Yes,
and,
because she literally sold like less than 100 tickets.
yeah.
Like, I'm literally there standing like eye to eye with her at the plywood stage built in the basement
Right.
of the shelter. Got to hang out with her for about 10 minutes after the show. Got her
For those that
autograph,
don't
whole
know,
nine
the
yards.
shelter is the. If you ever see 8 Mile, that's the venue that they're in 8 Mile.
Yes, which is in the basement of St. Andrews Hall.
Yeah.
Which, if
Or
you-
as us locals call it, St. Andy's.
yes. Which now they've kind of upgraded. If you go upstairs, you know, and there's a show going on, when you go down there now, they actually have a video feed
Yeah.
playing on the screen.
It's overflow.
So, yeah. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was really shocked. Who was I watching there? I was watching. What band was it? I still can't believe they sold Soul Asylum, and they like totally sold out. And this is not that long ago. This was only like just 2000 again, probably 2018, 19, and St. Andy's was shoulder to shoulder. Went down to the shelter and it was overflow. It was fantastic.
I just saw there's this new show that's on. Maybe it's not new or whatever, but it's like music great mysteries or something like that.
Okay.
They go into little things like 15-minute things about them, and they were talking about Soul Asylum in that Runaway Train video they did back in the day with all like the missing kids. And there's actually been like 20 kids from that video actually found and rescued since then because
Wow.
of that video alone.
Wow.
It was actually like, I'm like, oh, that's pretty darn cool. You know, they actually like, made
Yeah.
a difference with that video. And it's like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Soul Asylum, that's
Yeah,
about all I
that's
got.
really
I was never a huge Soul Asylum fan, so
Yeah.
I'll leave it
Oh
at that.
yeah. So back to Amanda Palmer.
Oh, yeah. And all,
So
and
I
all
go
the ladies flocking all over you when you go to the
Anyways,
shows.
yeah, I go see Amanda Palmer, and it's funny because I was trying to figure out why your voice sounded better than me, and then now I realize I have to like shrink down here because the
It's
microphone's
because
right here.
I'm better. Just admit it.
Because I'm like talking up here, and then I come down here, and like, wow, that really makes a
Yeah,
difference.
see, you have a face for camera. I have a voice for radio.
I got nothing.
I don't even. I got a comic book store, or we can put a mic on a counter and sit around and talk.
Yeah.
And then Jacob can come by.
Oh, look
and
at
walk
that!
and-
See that's the glory of having like a weird your microphone on a gorilla grip. I could just put it sideways, right?
Is that what those things are called?
Yeah. I got this. I got this gorilla grip thing that I can literally just wrap around a shelf.
I
and
bought
it's
one of
your
those
tripod.
at Five Below a while back, and it was a piece of crap. It broke in like 2 days.
Because you got it from Five Below.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know where I got
I'm
this
not
one.
always
I want to say
rich.
this was like $20-$30, but that was also like 15 years ago. But anyway, so again, Amanda Palmer, go to see her show. I thought it was amazing. And like honestly, if you ever watch an Amanda Palmer concert, like even check out some of her concert videos on YouTube or whatever, because there's a couple songs where she will, she does a couple costume changes for different songs. There's one song where she'll wear this giant, like 20-foot long train dress and then sing while crowd surfing. So everyone's holding her, and her dress is just over the entire crowd, and it's a really cool effect.
Okay, that'd be interesting. Normally, when I have crowd
The song's
surfers
called
come at
Bottom
me,
Feeder, but
yeah, normally when I get crowd surfers come at me, it's normally some sweaty guy.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather have that over the sweaty guy sliding off me.
yeah, and the fact that she's singing while it's interesting and very gutsy for her.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty cool.
yeah, but anyway, so the next day she was having a free live stream of her show in Chicago. So I was like, all right, cool. I had a great, maybe it was like a week later. I don't remember. But it was like, it was a great show. So I turned, so I set it up in the living room and I turned it on. And one of the first things she does one of the things she does in the first like 5-10 minutes, she goes, "Hey, who here saw me last night in Detroit? Isn't this better? That show, this is better, right?" It's like, did you just insult like not just all your, all the people that were there, but the people that traveled from Detroit to Chicago to see her, like, "Oh yeah, where you saw me in your hometown, yeah, that sucked, right?"
Yeah, you should have saved your money and came to Chicago and seen me.
Yeah, because it's one thing saying this is the greatest place ever. That's because you expect to hear that at every single show. That's just general. That's fine, but actually hearing it compared. And this is, it's like you're like, "Oh yeah, I love this place." You don't have to badmouth another place.
Yeah, normally you hear people, "Oh, I love this city," blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
maybe you'll
that's
hear them
normal.
say, "Yeah, I love Cleveland" when they're playing in Detroit, but you might get that wrong.
Yeah,
they're on a tour.
Oh yeah, you forgot where they are. I mean,
right, drank a lot in between.
I think it's I thought one of the coolest things is when we're over at Pine Knob and someone be like, "We're not in Detroit, we're in Mount Clemens." When you hear like, "What's this Detroit? That's miles down." And we're partying Mount Clemens. Everyone will get even. The crowd goes crazy because they actually, "Oh, you spent 1 minute on Google for us. That's cool." I appreciate that more than them playing Detroit Rock City, but doing a cover of Detroit Rock City. I'd rather hear them actually say the name of the city or some of the surrounding cities, which is really cool.
Yeah, and then you have Journey, who just makes up a spot that doesn't even exist, and they tell you, "Oh, born and raised in South Detroit." Well, yeah, Southwest? No, South Detroit? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that story so many times. It was basically, in the hotel in Detroit, because they play Detroit all the time, and it was just trying to think of something that rhymed, because they tried this and that and that. And
I've heard that too, but still, if you're from Detroit, you realize that they just made that up.
I do love that there's a bar called South Detroit in Windsor, and Windsor is technically south of Detroit. It's the only place. Detroit is the only place you can look down in America and see Canada.
Yep, on Canada. And you can go to Point Pelee, which is the southernmost spot in Canada.
Yeah.
It's a stupid little tip where, like, the water wraps around. I don't know, my parents used to take me as a kid.
Right?
Yeah, my parents used to take me there as a kid. They're like, "We're going to Point Pelee." And I'm like, "Okay, yay."
Yeah.
It's like, take me to Kensington or someplace cool. Take me to Cedar Point. No, we're going to Point Pelee.
I think I went to Boblo Island once as a kid.
I
I
went there a
barely
couple
remember
times.
it, but
I went there on my 8th grade class trip. Mm-hmm. We all went downtown, got on the Boblo boat, went down there, and by the time the boat ride got there and you got into the park, we had like 2 hours before we had to go all the way back.
So slow.
It was like 4. It was like a 4-hour trip down the river.
And Boblo was a defunct theme park in an island in Michigan, but
they shut down the park, left it half vacant there, and then put mansions on the other half of the islands now.
Yeah. So, but the old steamboat or whatever, it's not steamboat, it's paddle boat. But whatever that boat, it still goes. What's the point of going on that boat or really any other boat where all you do is just go a half mile down the river, turn around, not even a half mile. Literally, you're just doing large rectangles, just turn the boat back and forth for like 2 hours. What's the point of that?
The atmosphere and the scenery.
It's no.
If you've never...
All I'm doing is looking at the same scenery. I mean, it's kind of cool for the first 10 minutes, and you realize, okay, I'm bored. Is there a bar on... I remember being in 5th grade on the thing going, why am I here? Is there a bar on the boat or something? I mean, can I do something? We had more fun just throwing stuff at each other, outside of the bathrooms or whatever, because, we're 5th graders.
Well, yeah, when you're 5th graders.
Then we did... Because... They're doing so many laps. You watch it for first 3 laps, like, okay, I've seen everything.
Right. But I mean, if you've never done it before and you're a fan of like the city and all that, and the skyline and all that, it's really cool to go down the riverfront and see all the different sites. And if you get,
but they're not going all the way down the riverfront usually.
If you get the right tours, they do. Some of them do, some of them don't. Okay. Some just stay stationary.
I might be thinking, the ones I did it a couple times. The ones I did, they didn't go all the way.
There is a new thing downtown that I discovered recently too. They're doing duck boat tours now.
Oh, I thought those things were like illegal now. Didn't a bunch of people die off a duck boat somewhere, like Boston or whatever?
Well, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
because those things were not designed by.
they were designed by the Army to take troops to shore. And be
No,
used.
that's not duck boat. That's a different type. That's the you're thinking not Amtrak, but Am something.
Amphibian or
Yeah,
whatever.
but
But
that's a
aren't they the
different
same
vehicle.
basic design type thing ish? I don't know. But anyways, they started doing them recently downtown, or right down there now. So
Yeah, I know
I wanna go.
they do like these. They call them the boat pubs or whatever, like the puddle pub. They do the boat version, which is kind of cool. That was cool because that one actually did go all the way through, up and down the Detroit River.
Well,
that one was really cool because that one they actually were looking at mansions and how all the stuff. That one was cool. But most of the time when you go in there and like on the Detroit Princess, if you go there for like a concert or something like that, which I went there for a couple different shows when I worked for a radio
I did
station.
not even know they did concerts on the Princess.
It's usually like an event type thing.
Okay.
You were there for the concert. You go up again. You go up like, okay, cool. This is the second turnaround. All right, cool. Now I'm done. I'm gonna go check out whoever's playing.
So, there was more than one Bobolo boat, right? There was the Princess,
Yeah.
and then there was also the one they used in Transformers.
Okay, I didn't know that one was in Transformers.
Yeah, the one Transformers movie where they're running around and they destroy the boat in it.
Okay.
You know what scene I'm talking about from it?
No.
Okay, well, it's in the newer one. I think it's the Mark Wahlberg
I just
one.
assume everything's in the Russell Industrial Center.
No, they actually had one of those boats.
Oh yeah, the train and the train station as well.
Yeah, that was back in the day. But yeah, there's a scene in, I
Yeah.
want to say it's like the fourth Transformers movie or whatever, where they're
Watch
fighting.
the fourth one.
I've watched them all
Why?
because they're Transformers.
Did anyone else watch like more than the first two Transformer movies? Not including the animated one.
I watched the first one and I think the third one.
Okay, so he skipped one.
So nobody, just you,
Except
Ben.
for me. That's okay.
All right.
I'll take it. I've watched way worse movies, trust me.
Yeah.
That's another day, though. We'll talk about worse movies. But anyways.
Yeah, that's a.
But yeah, they put that boat's in the movie and all that because it used to be docked for the longest time, and where they shot it at was right next to that drawbridge off of, what is that, 4th Street?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The one that's in like Southwest there?
Going through Rouge, yeah.
Yeah, it was like behind the
Yeah, like
Marathon
Jefferson.
Refinery. Yeah, it was.
It wasn't Ford, it was Jefferson, yeah.
It was docked right there for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows this, and whatever. Me and my girlfriend snuck on there and took a bunch of pictures, and from the other side of it and all that way, it was docked there. And then they took it down to Cleveland to restore it, and then it burnt down. So now it's gone.
Well, I mean, it was in Cleveland. What do you expect?
Yeah. Everything comes out of Cleveland sucks except for Drew Carey and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And even both those have a couple of asterisks. Even though I love Drew Carey, but as Craig Ferguson says, you gotta go see the fat Drew Carey. When he's skinny, he's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
The funny comes on with the fat. You have to go see the fat Drew Carey.
Yes.
As for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I feel like it's just such a. It's a look. If you haven't gone, go. It's really cool, but it's also just feels like such a money grab.
It is in a way.
Not in a way, it is. The inductions are dumb.
Yeah,
I don't watch any of the inductions.
I don't watch any. And maybe here and there, I'll catch one part of
Yeah.
it, but I'll usually just go watch it on like YouTube later or something. But what I'm waiting for is the Motown Museum when they get done with that expansion down there and all that they're doing.
Yeah, but
That's going to be awesome, I think.
okay. Yeah, I've never been in there, and I
Really?
I feel like it's such a loss. I should totally go there.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
should.
a fail for me being
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I'm
and never
disappointed
check
in you
it
right
out.
now. I really am. Seriously.
I'm sorry.
Like seriously, you've just let me down.
I'm
I can't believe
sorry.
I'm sitting here doing this. I
I
should
think
walk away
Ben,
from
but
doing
Ben,
this.
why
right
are you
now.
walking away from me?
I should put down my headphones and walk away right now. But
Oh.
I'll give him a
But I'm
second
not
chance.
the only one. It's weird because it's like the Motown Museum should be a big stamp.
Well,
and it is in a way.
Are you
but
familiar with the new thing they're doing for it now?
What?
They're keeping the original museum, which was the house and all that,
Yeah.
but now they're putting like a 4-story, like block big museum
I didn't
attached
think
to the
the
back.
expansion was gonna be that big.
They literally bought off the whole backside of the block to build this whole thing there now.
Wow.
It's going to be massive, and I think it's going to be really awesome. Cause
So we basically, since I haven't gone, I gotta go now before the tickets shoot up, 6 times.
Yes. I mean, and I think it's under construction right now, actually, though. So.
Well, I think it's still open though.
Yeah,
right?
the regular old part is.
Yeah.
And then you can go to.
And it's one of those things where, like, a lot of you just never gone. I mean, I don't know, like, how many times in casual conversations, unless I'm talking to a musician that's ever. Again, we have a store full of people. I'm just going to randomly say stuff. Anyone here gone to the Motown Museum? Anybody?
Yeah, I really like these ones.
I don't even know there was one.
See?
Man!
Hey, you've probably been here your entire life, right?
Yeah. I lived in Detroit my entire life.
Lived in Detroit your entire life. Didn't know that was there.
I moved too.
Yeah, it's...
It's
You're not
right
the
off
only
of
one.
West Grand Boulevard, right down the street from Henry Ford Hospital.
Yeah.
It's a bright blue house. You can't miss it. It's got all the original recording studios still in there from like Berry Gordy's time, Stevie Wonder, Four Tops, all those growing up. It's all available to go see.
But
Go
I
check it
bet
out.
he knows about the Hindenburg project or the Heisenberg
Heidelberg.
Heidelberg project.
idea. Like the only thing I know is that Cleveland one. Where'd you go?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know.
All right.
How's it going, guys?
Appreciate you.
The Heidelberg project, which is really awesome. But
It's not that awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Tell us
It's
about it.
it's better than the
The first
Disney
couple-
World and Hamtramck crap.
Okay.
Have you seen that monstrosity they got going on there?
Terrible.
But my personal favorite in that area is the Grandy Ballroom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You talk
guys,
about that a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
I try to teach these guys everything all the time. They
Yeah.
don't know about it. But the Grandy Ballroom, for those of you who don't know, is this historic ballroom in downtown Detroit. Well, not even downtown. It's on the outskirts of downtown Detroit. Opened in the early 1930s, but it's really big because every major rock and roll act you can think of from like the early 60s through the late 70s played there. The Who, Led Zeppelin, everybody played
The
there.
big names.
MC5, the Stooges, anybody you can think of that was big in that time frame came through there and played there. And I want to buy it. So somebody give me the winning lottery number. so I can
Wasn't
buy
it up for sale back
it.
to
It
Ongo?
was, and it is again now.
Okay.
It
How
is
much
again.
for sale?
They're asking 2.1 for it right now.
Okay.
I bet you could.
Oh,
tell-
you got that in the couch, right?
Yeah, I got that spare change laying around. I'm gonna go return pop cans and get it. But I bet you could talk them down. At least 1.5. Really, I would think.
Yeah, but 1.5 for something like that, you're going to spend at least another 2 on physical renovations,
Yep.
if not 4 or 5, and then
Well-
it's going to cost you another 2 to bring up modernize the theater.
Well,
to
that's
what
the thing,
need.
you can't-
minimum. You look at some of these buildings, like the Scientology building. They're walking around once they finish those renovations, like, yeah, man, we spent. I don't remember. I'm going to say $4 million, but I'm probably wrong. I'm just trying to think with it. Like, yeah, we spent like $4 million renovating. You should see it. It's beautiful. I'm like, you only spent $4 million? That's not much. Like, they're like, no, man. It's like, dude, $4 million on a building like that. That's nothing. Absolutely drop in the bucket.
The problem you'll run into,
Of course,
if-
that's a bigger building. Totally
Grandy.
different building, but still.
with the Grandy Ballroom, though, is it's now on the historical national registry list.
Oh, that
So
makes things even.
You're held to certain standards,
Yep.
certain things you can and can't do when you upgrade it and things.
Yeah,
and
I
that's gonna
tried
be a pain in
to.
the ass.
I tried to upgrade some audio visual stuff in historic buildings. It's like, well, I can't mount anything on this wall, that wall. Can't upgrade can't do anything with this
Right.
over here.
Command hooks, it is.
Just put everything on wheels, man, and that way you can still sell tickets for a tour, and you're ready to do the
Right.
thing. You just wheel everything in.
Yeah, I can get Heelys or those fancy shoes that have the wheels
Oh,
on. And I can
yeah.
just wheel right behind stuff, right? Not break my leg.
Dude,
yeah.
I love just throwing stuff on wheels, though, man. If you got the storage space, just put everything on wheels and put the money into the freight elevator so they don't break.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
that's another piece of equipment everyone forgets to spend money on. Like, oh, yeah, it's old building, then they don't upgrade the elevators. It's like, come on.
Right. These guys are over here. If you can hear them rummaging, they're rummaging through comic book boxes. What book are you pulling out? Let's see. Show us a book.
Batman versus Spawn.
All right,
Or
Batman.
Batman and Spawn.
That's an old one, isn't it?
Nope,
That's
just
brand
came
new.
out.
Brand new?
Like,
People still read Spawn?
Yeah, Spawn's actually pretty darn popular.
Spawn is still hot, yeah.
Yeah, we sell a lot of Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's after COVID, so we can do that now. We can give high fives.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
When we do free comic book day around here, we have a giant spinning prize wheel,
Yeah.
and we put on there a free high five or a free compliment as a prize you could win. So, like, people would win it, and I'd be like, oh, I like your shoes.
Yep.
You know?
I like
Yeah.
your shirt. I like your necklace.
Yeah, nice hair.
Yeah.
You know? Or you can win a free high five. Those are like the zonk prizes, I guess you would call them. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but you don't have like win $500 like free compliment. I like your hair, dude. I'm bald.
Yeah. You know, yeah. Hey.
I'm gonna use that next time on a bald guy.
Hey, you know, it does take some work sometimes to get, short haircuts to look right.
Yeah.
We all can't look, good. I mean, there's me, there's Yul Brynner, and Telly Savalas.
I don't know who those other people's are.
What?
Nope.
Yul Brynner was
I know the name.
Ramsey in the Ten Commandments movie with Charlton Heston.
Oh yeah, because I totally watch.
You should.
The
And then
Ten Commandments
Telly
with
Savalas
Charlton
was like-
Heston over Planet of the Apes.
Little known fact, did you know Charlton Heston was born in Michigan?
No, I didn't know that.
He was born right outside of Iron Mountain in the Upper Peninsula. Lived there till he was like
real
1.5.
cool. Woohoo! Totally care.
Hey, man.
Yeah, but what that's the funny thing is how many people that are like from the area you're from that actually like you go, oh yeah, that's cool because they still come here, they still do stuff. That's it. You know what? I don't care about Kid Rock. I think he's superly overrated. But Kid Rock still stays in the area, and he
Does he?
Yeah. Well, Mount Clemens. Yeah.
I thought he moved down to like Nashville.
I thought I'm pretty sure
Maybe
he
he's
still
got a
has
house in both.
I think he still has a house in Mount Clemens.
Well, if that's the case, then I have property on the moon, so
Well, I mean, I know, like, I don't know where, I don't know currently, obviously. Like I said, I don't really care.
You don't
but,
stalk him?
But he still had a restaurant up till within the last 2 years.
yeah, and Little Caesar
Well, that's his
till
own undoing.
Yeah,
That's beside the point. He was still investing in the area. For the longest time, when the Lions weren't being played on TV, he would buy all the tickets so they'll play the Lions on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was giving back to the area. Like
Which I can
could talk
respect.
mad to trash about Kid Rock, but he still did stuff for the
Yes.
area, which gets respect. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta give him, a couple
could
respect points.
You could be
and-
garbage in so many different areas, but if you're doing some, there are some things that are redeemable. There are some things that are irredeemable, and to my knowledge, Kid Rock hasn't done those. Although I'm sure someone can correct me.
Don't they kind of cancel each other out in a way, though? Kind of just.
I don't know, making a fool of yourself on stage or on the microphone. I don't think that's a huge deal. Doing something cool for the community is.
Yes.
Just talking trash. I don't think is terrible.
Okay.
Unless people actually believe you, like you're talking like The View. I think that's a different level of trash talk versus don't.
What is going on here? Why are we talking about The View?
Well, I'm just talking about different levels of trash talk.
Is Whoopi Goldberg still on there?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, because that was the last time I watched it. So, and the reason I watched it was because it was on in a doctor's office while I was waiting, and I didn't have a choice.
I see clips once in a while, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah. I was just saying, like, I think there's different levels of trash. That trash talk's going to hit. That one I can make fun of way more than just somebody that knows nothing about nothing and one day put a microphone on their face, but versus someone that's on the TV every day and people expect it to be, or somebody's dumb enough to expect it to be news.
Fair enough.
I think that's different. It's like you get your wacky DJ in the morning. If he's talking politics, whatever, he's the wacky DJ. But if you get people like, oh yeah, we're here talking about the current topics of the day, and you have Barbara Walters being their founding member, you're supposed to have a little bit, at least a facade.
It's like Rush Limbaugh versus Howard Stern.
We're gonna
Right?
have it in the back then.
Or is that a bag?
I think that works.
They're
'cause
going
you
to the back without me. Sheesh.
Sorry.
No, I'm just.
Because
It's
you
okay,
expect
guys.
Howard Stern to you expect Rush Limbaugh to know what at least have an idea what he's talking about. Which of course, he was able to. He did revolutionize certain things. Whatever. He said a lot of dumb things too. Howard Stern has said much dumb things, and
We all say dumb things.
but you only really expect Howard Stern to really know about, really nothing. Nah, there's nothing I expect. I don't even expect Howard Stern to even be able to set up his own microphone. I don't expect him to know nothing. Yeah, now the store's empty.
I know.
That was fun though. I like, hey guys.
These people interacted. And didn't look at us like we were stupid.
I wasn't paying attention. I just assumed that's the default.
Well, I was on the side of the counter where I could see them,
Yeah.
whereas you were on the other side of the counter where you couldn't see their reactions.
Yeah.
So I was seeing how they were reacting, and we got a nice, warm response from people.
That's cool.
Not the, why are you guys talking to me look.
Yeah.
Which I get just from saying hello to people when they come to the door on occasion.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you saying hello to me? I'm like, because I'm greeting you, because you're coming into my store and I'm trying to be hospitable.
Which it's interesting with comic book stores because so I'll go into a little bit of I wanted to read comic books when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I've told this story before. I don't know if I ever told it on the podcast. If I did, it was probably way early on. So I'd go into
Episode
stores, probably middle school and high school. Go to the local. I won't say the name here.
I don't care.
Well, I mean, but this is nothing against them at all. Just I'd go into the store and no one would help me out. No one would kind of help us. It was probably my fault too for not going. Hey, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Can someone help? That's probably a little piece on me too. But you're a stupid 12-year-old or whatever. You don't know that you should ask, and because what do people say? Hey, look, I have no idea what I'm doing. You first thing you would ask well, what comic books are you into? I don't know. That's why I'm in a comic book store. I just want to read. I don't know, Spider-Man. I don't know. You have no idea.
That's when you ask qualifying questions.
Yeah.
They come in, I'm not really into comic books. Okay, well, what are you into in general? Because that's the thing. There is a comic book out there for anybody who's into anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me whatever you can think of that you're into, and I can find you a comic book around that subject.
And that's the type of treatment I didn't get until I was into my 20s, and I knew people already working at a comic book store, and then eventually I worked there too, and people come like, I want to get into comics, I don't know where to start, what do I do?
Yeah, see?
And that was stuff that I never got an answer as a kid. That's why one reason I still won't go to that store. It's still there. It's one of the few comic book stores that lasted this long.
Right, see, you come at me and say, I'm not really into comic books, but, what should I get into? Well, I'd say, well, what are you into? Do you have a movie that you like? Do you have this or that?
Howard the
like?
Duck.
Howard
George
the Duck.
Lucas.
Okay, well, hey, guess what? They have an entire Howard the Duck comic line. And most people don't realize this, but Howard the Duck kicked off the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they only waited, 30, 40 years to get to us, the rest of the universe.
MCU is a little bit different.
I'm stretching it,
but,
I
yeah,
know, but it's still Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to do a full Howard the Duck movie again.
They might.
I liked them in Guardian of the Galaxy, but I also realized that was a tip of the hat to the creator of Guardians of the Galaxy. They also created Howard the Duck.
Yep.
I believe he was, on his deathbed when they showed him the movie early just so he could see it.
I think I heard something like that at one point, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a happy ending.
Yeah.
Doodles!
But no, I mean...
that was...
But, if people aren't into it, just ask them qualifying questions. You can find a book for somebody out there of some sort. But when people come in the door here, at least, I try to be nice and at least greet them and acknowledge them. And I don't want to ignore them, but I also don't want to be like a car salesman and attack them and be like, hey, you need the latest issue of Spider-Man. It's right over here. It's bright, it's shiny, it's red. Buy it. It smells all fresh and brand new. I don't want to do all that.
That's why I noticed it when I worked at the one store. Like I wasn't doing that, but it was like all the other workers, because they would stack on workers just so everyone could actually can push sell comics and stuff. And besides, they also most people there at that time were literally working for nothing. They're working for like $2 in store credit an hour.
You hear that? You hear that over there, guys? working for $2 an hour in store credit. That's our new policy around here.
Because, that's a good way to ensure that employees don't,
Right. That's how
steal from you.
That's how they don't steal and you keep faithful employees around.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, they had people literally come in like once a week, and that's what they get paid, and they'll change up all the posters in the store and stuff. And then he would wonder why everyone was stealing from him.
Have you ever stolen anything from me?
No.
Good. If you said anything otherwise, I was going to smack you.
I took 2 ibuprofens out of them. So
Didn't I
guess
tell you to take them because you had a headache?
Yeah.
That's not stealing if I tell you to do
Well,
it, though. But see,
I didn't tell you, so.
I'll tell you the funniest thing though. Some of the guys that they figured out was because they'll play card games there and stuff too. But when they did it, they'll order some pizza, and then you'd buy the slice from the store would order the pizza, and then they'll buy the slice from the store. Which I'm still not sure if this is legal or not.
that's what I'm doing next time. We don't do card games here, but we get like a handful of people together and watch like wrestling pay-per-views, and I'll put them on the TVs in the store, and I'll just go grab a hot and ready or two. But now I'm charging people $1 a slice.
Yeah,
Profit off this.
So all that stuff is already programmed in the cash register.
I can do that too.
Yeah,
And so what they would do is like, hey, look, we're playing HeroClix here. We're going to do, and then they would buy the pizza all off of in-store credit. And then I got yelled at by the owner, like, dude, you're not supposed to. I got to prove that now. And they can't use in-store credit for food. But they'll
Why not?
how do you
You're-
expect to spend? Why are you working?
You're still making money hand over fist at that point if you're using store credit for it, because then you still keep your product to resell after the pizza's gone.
Yeah.
And they just do it.
Yeah. You would be.
I'm all over that. You guys are working for pizza slicing now. That's a new thing.
Right.
$2 an hour in store credit or pizza. That's the options.
Well, I mean, it depends. Where's the pizza coming from?
Well, if I go to Little Caesars, I have to get breadsticks.
Wait. Well, the higher priced pizza is just going to cost you more in store credit.
Yeah.
Because he's got to make his money back on
Right.
it. Because he's got to have a zero.
If I'm getting Buddy's pizza, if I'm getting like Buddy's pizza, you guys are paying.
I finally had Buddy's Pizza not that long ago.
Oh my gosh.
It is so overpriced.
It is, and it's way overrated. But
It is. I appreciate having like local breweries and stuff like that on tap. That I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But the pizza itself, wow.
yeah, you don't want to go there. No. I mean, it's good.
I had ravioli. One day I was just like really.
Jets is better.
Yeah. One day I was just like really wanting like ravioli for some reason, and I ended up like buying ravioli from Buddy's. that wasn't too bad. That was actually, I think that was cheaper than the pizza.
I don't know. Their mostaccioli's okay too, but
Yeah.
I don't know. If I go to Buddy's, unfortunately, I get the pizza usually because that's my mom's favorite pizza place, not mine.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a best pizza in Metro Detroit area, Green Lantern.
Yes.
That's probably the best pizza in Metro Detroit. My pizza.
It depends on my mood. I will say, I like Roma's pizza.
That's good.
It's very sweet sauce, and sometimes that sauce they don't hit it quite right. So when they get it right, it's good. But I don't know what difference is. I don't know if it's just a different taste of the day or whatever for myself. But it also messes up my stomach.
And there's a new pizza place that recently opened downtown that I want to try I think it's called Pie Sai.
Okay.
It's down like in that.
I thought you were talking about like the cat one at first. I forgot
No,
what that's called. There's like some kind of cat vegan pizza thing or
That's
something.
the one that's taken over the arcade bowling alley place to shut down. No.
Oh, there's like 4 bar.
This is over by
Yeah.
You know where the castle is? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
It's like right over in that area where like Google and all that moved into.
Uh-huh.
It's over in that area.
I'll have to check that out.
I think it's called Pie Sai, but it's supposed to be like some fancy, crazy, scientifically made pizzas that I don't know. I just want to try.
Weird.
I want to try it.
All right.
At least they're not growing slices in a lab yet. Although I do want one of those the hydrator things from like Back to the Future, where it's like a little quarter, and next thing you know, got a large Pizza Hut pizza on your counter. That'd be
No one
awesome.
dehydrates a pizza like you.
That'd be awesome. Awesome.
So anyway, this has been another test episode, meaning I don't know if I'm going to put this out. Maybe I put it out, maybe I didn't. You tell me if I went through the trouble editing it. I don't remember. And we've been here with 9 planets in 9 planets as people just come through and look through stuff. And
I don't know.
But hey, did you ever come up with an answer to the dance fight question? Who do you want to see dance fight?
I did.
Oh man.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
What you got?
We got it.
So my 2 picks would be Guar,
Okay.
Guar versus who?
Slipknot. But like,
Does it matter which lineup of Guar?
I wouldn't hold any.
I think I just went over it.
Yeah.
Like, there's more people in Guar.
No, I know, but yeah, I wouldn't hold it to any restrictions. Whatever
Okay.
version of Guar you want, with odorous, without odorous.
Now, is this
Whatever.
because their music, or is it because of their? They both have the masks and
Both
the
have
different.
like the masks, those gimmicks, those characters.
Okay, so we're going
like,
for aesthetics, not
Yeah.
so much as the people themselves.
Yeah, you wouldn't really see that kind of
Right.
those kind of characters in that form,
Dude.
So like
I can only
it's not-
imagine the stage, because that would be such a stage show.
Yeah.
All the blood and props and plastic in your face.
You could have a lot of
Fireballs.
fun with
And,
Yeah.
it. There would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Slipknot's a good one to put up again.
I'd go to that show.
Because can you imagine if they did like Rammstein? Now they just burned all their aesthetics, and now it's just
Yeah.
It's just fire everywhere.
Rammstein's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
fire marshals around when
Shooting, like,
Rammstein's in
rockets
town.
into
Oh,
the crowds and
absolutely.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally tried to watch them burn down the palace one year. That was crazy.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah. They were on the Family Values tour with Korn, Limp Bizkit, Ice Cube, and Rammstein.
I didn't see that one. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, and he literally had one of those like Vietnam war gas flamethrower things. He was shooting 100-foot fireballs out across the crowd. Literally, you could feel the arena raise 20 degrees every time he shot it off.
I love that the Germans invented the flamethrowers, but yet wanted a war criminal or ban on shotguns.
Well, you know, they also invented Volkswagen. I don't know.
I'm doing some trade today, by the way.
Uh-oh. He's working for $2.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Again, this has been Toaden at 9 Planets. And hey, let me know if I should change the name of the show. Maybe it'll just be called Toaden. I did change the name of the show at one point from Media Layer Sandwich to Toaden's Media Layer Sandwich, so I could just say, hey, it's Toaden. Anyways, Ben, do you have anything more to shout out? I know you've been working on the podcast. You've been putting a lot of stuff out on Instagram and TikToks.
Yeah, just go follow us on any platform you can find us on. Look for 9 Planets, Comics and Collectibles. It should be there somewhere. Find us, follow us.
The 9 goes before the planets.
Yes.
So, does that include Jupiter or including something else?
Pluto?
Yeah, that's not a planet. What 9 planet? Where are you getting this number from?
Okay. I have this weird, slogan that when I first came up with the name of the store here. 9 Planets, Comics, Toys, and Collectibles from when there was 9 and beyond. Because when I was growing up, there was 9 planets. And that's all the toys and stuff.
But that was
I remember.
before he was born.
Well, that doesn't matter. We're not talking last week.
No.
I always get shot down for being young.
He does. We pick on him all the time about it. It's I tell.
No, I made a diorama and it had 9 planets because we have.
See,
Yeah.
see,
Yes.
right. So then they just took one away, but that doesn't matter anymore because I grew up when there was 9. So the toys and the collectibles and stuff from when there was 9 and beyond, which takes us into the future. So when there's 3 planets left, and I have a store on each of them, we'll be okay. He looks puzzled.
Toodles.
Yep. I'm going to be the first store on Mars. You watch.
We are the best.